Hello third graders, welcome to our math class. Today in this lesson, we're going to spend some time reviewing our module 1. So it has been almost a month since we started this module, and tomorrow we're going to have an assessment. So today I'm going to go over some of the key points and main ideas on module 1 so that you can get ready for your assessment tomorrow. So I'm going to ask you to first try solving the questions on your own and check the answers at the end. And I hope you have, by the time you listen to this video, I hope you have solved most of the questions. So let me begin with some of the diagrams we've been using. So what is an array? So let's say there is a question about draw an array to show 3 rows of 4. And this is what I'm going to do. So first I'm going to draw 3 rows and I'm going to draw 3 more dots in each row to complete my array. So this visual representation right here is called array. So whenever there is a question asking you to draw an array, you need to remember this representation. Then let's move on and let's talk about tape diagram. So I know there are a few students who are not completely sure with how to draw a tape diagram. So this is how you draw a tape diagram. So for example, there is a question about draw a tape diagram to show 3 boxes of 2 chocolates. Then I always begin with a big rectangle. So that's the first step that you need to take. And then I'm going to check the number of boxes because that's the number of boxes that I have to have in this rectangle. It says there are 3 boxes. So I'm going to draw 2 lines to divide this one rectangle into 3 parts. And I'm going to draw 2 chocolates in each box to complete my picture. However, I'm not done because I have to do 2 more things, and one is labeling the number of chocolates in each box, and I also need to count the total number of chocolates, and I'm going to write it under here. So whenever there is a question about tape diagram, please make sure to include this kind of representation. Next one, number bond. So let's say there is a question about draw a number bond to show 9 times 3. For number bond, I usually draw 1 big circle on top, and I draw 2 circles or 2 bubbles like this. And I write down this equation first because that's the total, and I'm going to use my number bond to break my number 9 into smaller units. So first, I'm going to keep my equation the same, but my operation, and I'm going to split my 9 into 2 smaller units. So maybe 4 and 5. So this is how a number bond looks like. So please remember we use number bond to make our multiplication easier and simpler. And last but not least, break apart and distribute strategy. So for this one, we need to come back to array. So let me draw an array first. So let's say this is my array. So the question is asking the total number of circles. Some of you might just go ahead and count one circle at a time like this. But instead of this, we can actually split this array into two parts like this and do two calculations. So first, I look at the top part and I got this multiplication equation, which is 4 times 4, because I have 4 rows and 4 columns. And I find my product and I do the same for the second part, which is 2 times 4, which is 8. And now I just need to take these two numbers and add them. So my total is 24. So that's how I use break apart and distribute strategy to find the total. So break, meaning we have to split the array, and distribute, meaning we have two equations and later we add them and find a total like this. Okay, so let's go and start solving our problems. But if you want to review, then here are some useful videos that we've been watching. So feel free to watch those if you need to review. So let's go ahead and solve the first question. Victoria placed 3 rows of 4 cookies on a baking sheet. She then put 2 more rows of 4 cookies on the same baking sheet. Draw an array to find the total number of cookies she baked. So here I have highlighted that you need to draw an array. So let's begin with the first instruction. So she placed 3 rows of 4 cookies on the baking sheet. So here is the first one, and I drew an array. And then later she put 2 more rows of cookies like this. So this is my array. So my array is done now, and I'm looking for the total number of cookies now. So it's up to you. You may use the break and distribute strategy, or you can just go ahead and start counting the number of rows and do the multiplication. For me, I'm going to count the number of rows, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to take my 5 here, and I know there are 4 cookies in each row. So my total is 20 cookies. So don't forget to label. And let's move on to the next question. Draw an array to show 6 rows of 2 and use a multiplication sentence to find a total. So once again, this question is about drawing an array. I'm going to draw 6 rows first. And how many dots do I need to draw in each row? I have to draw 1 more, like this. And this is my array. And all I need to do now is finding the total. So let's count the number of rows, which is 6. And there are 2 dots in each row. So my total is 12. So whenever the question is asking you to draw an array, then you must draw an array, okay? Don't forget that point. Charles replaces each of the 3 wheels on 5 toy cars. How many wheels does he replace? Draw and label a tape diagram to solve. Okay, so this question is telling us to draw a tape diagram. So I'm going to draw, I'm always, just like how I always start, I'm going to draw a big rectangle. And I'm going to figure out how many boxes I need to have. 3 wheels on 5 toy cars. So I know since we have 5, so here is my first toy car, and there are 5 of them. So I'm going to split my rectangles into 5 parts, where each one represents each toy car. to draw 3 dots because Charles replaced 3 wheels on each toy car, like this. Okay, now I need to label a tape diagram. So how many wheels did he replace on each toy car? 3. Then what is the total number of wheels that he replaced? 3 times 5, which is 15. So here, let's go back to the question. Question is asking how many wheels does he replace? So I need to come back to this number and I'm going to say 15 wheels. Next question. Arthur has 3 boxes of pencils. Each box has 6 pencils inside. How many pencils does Arthur have altogether? Once again, the question is asking us the total and it's telling us to draw a tape diagram. Then I'm going to start with a big rectangle. And how many boxes are there? There are 3 boxes. So I'm going to split my rectangle into 3 parts. And I'm going to draw 6 pencils. And I'm going to label it. There are 6 pencils in each box. And in total, there are 3 times 6, which is 18. So I'm going to put 18 down here and I'm going to say 18 pencils. Let's move on to the next question. Misha packs 24 soccer balls in boxes of 4. Draw and label a tape diagram to find the number of boxes he packs. So this question, it might seem similar to the previous question, but we have to be careful because this is not asking the total number of soccer balls because we already know the total, which is 24. And then we know that he put 4 soccer balls in each box. This one is actually asking the number of boxes. So after drawing the rectangle, I usually go ahead and divide my rectangles, but I can't do that because that's the question, that's the problem that I need to solve. So what do I do? So for this question, I still begin with my big rectangle and I draw 4 soccer balls first. And since I have 4 here, I just draw a line here to indicate that's 1 box. And I do the same 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I repeat the same thing until I have no more soccer balls left. So now I have used all my 24 soccer balls. I'm going to label it. So there are 4 soccer balls, and in total there were 24 soccer balls. And how many boxes do I have? I need to count the boxes inside my rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the answer is 6 boxes. So that's how we find the total number of boxes, not the total number of soccer balls. So there will be a question on assessment tomorrow asking a similar thing. So please make sure you understand how to find a total and how to find the number of boxes. Okay, so here we have an array, and we're going to use the break apart and distribute strategy to solve this question. So we're looking for the answer. We're looking for the answer of this equation right here, 8 times 4. Some of you might be able to just find the answer through mental math, but here is how I'm going to use my array to find the answer. So here once again, my array has been split into 2 parts, where my first part is 5 by 4, which is 20, and my second part is 3 by 4, which is 12. Now I take the 2 numbers and add it, and that's my total. That's how simple this question is. Okay? So So for this question, make sure you understand how there are two parts and how my number 8 has been split into two smaller units. Rika paid $16 for 4 bottles of water. Each bottle cost the same amount. What is the cost of 2 bottles of water? So this one is 2 steps question where you need to find 2 answers to get to the final answer. So let's begin with the total amount. So she paid $16 for 4 bottles of water. So we need to figure out the price for 1 single bottle. So I'm going to, there are 2 ways to do it. First, you can just use your division sentence to find the answer, or you can use a tape diagram. But for me, I'm going to use division sentence, and I found the answer, which is $4. And now I'm going to take this number, so I'm going to draw 4 rectangles where each one represents 1 bottle of water, and we know that each one is $4 now, and when we add these all, it's going to be 16. And this question is interested in the cost of 2 bottles of water. So I'm going to take this 2 and I'm going to add 4 with another 4, because this will give me the final cost of 2 bottles of water, which is $8. Okay? So please make sure to read your question carefully so that you understand what the question is actually asking you. Freddie buys a box of 18 ice creams. Each box comes with an equal number of strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla flavored ice cream. He eats all of the chocolate flavored ice cream. Draw and label a tape diagram to find how many ice cream he has left. So as always, I begin with this long rectangle, and since there were 3 flavors, I'm going to split mine into 3 boxes. And I'm going to pet, I need to figure out how many ice creams are in each flavor. So I have 18, and there are 3 flavors. So I can use my division sentence like this, or I can actually just go and draw 1 ice cream at a time until I have no more ice cream left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let me go back. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So now I have divided all 18 ice creams into 3 flavors, and I know that there are 6 ice creams in each flavor. So let me label it. There are 6 ice creams, and in total there are 18. So now Freddie has eaten up all chocolate flavor ice cream. So this one is gone now. And now I'm interested in the number of ice creams he has left. So one way for you to find the answer is just count the number of ice creams inside these 2 boxes. Or you can just take this number, because we know that there are 6 ice creams in each box and there are 2 boxes left. That way, we can easily find the answer, which is 12 ice creams. Okay. So we're going to move on to the next question. Isabella buys 5 apples and 2 bananas at a grocery store. Each apple costs $3. Each banana costs $2. So I'm going to draw on an apple. Here is my 5 apples. And here is my 2 banana. And my apple is $3 each, where my banana is $2 each. So let's look at the question. So question 8, what is the total cost of 5 apples? So this question is only interested in apples. So I'm going to take my apple. So I have 5 apples and each one is $3. So in total, I have to pay $15. And number B, it's asking how much does Isabella spend altogether? So this time, the question is interested in the total amount, both apples and banana. So I'm going to take this number down because I already know the total price for apples, and I'm going to add the total amount of banana, which is $2 each. So in total, she paid $19. Okay, so please make sure to read your questions carefully. And we're now going on to our number bond. So 8 times 10. We're going to use the number bond to make our multiplication easier. So the total is 8 tens. And inside this first bubble, there are 5 tens. That means here they have 3 tens, because when we add these 2 bubbles, this is the total. So 5 tens plus 3 tens is equal to 8 tens. So 5 times 10 is 50, 3 times 10 is 30. And when I add these 2 numbers, I get 80. So 80 is my total. So let's do the second question. 7 fours. So in this first bubble, I already see 5 fours. That means here I have to include 2 fours. Because when I add 5 and 2, I get 7. So 5 fours, 2 fours, 2. And 5 times 4 is 20. 2 times 4 is 8. When I add these 2 numbers, it's 28. Then that's the final answer of 7 times 4. Let's move on. Vivian makes 8 cupcakes. She tops each cupcake with 3 almonds. How many almonds does Vivian use in all? Use the break apart and distribute strategy and draw a number bond to solve. So here is the first cupcake. And then she puts 3 almonds on each cupcake. And then she made 8 of them. So I'm going to use break apart, distribute, and a number bond. First, I'm going to draw my number bond. And this is also one way to use break apart and distribute strategy. So here I'm going to put 8 times 3 because there are 8 cupcakes and each one has 3 almonds on top. And I'm going to split. I'm going to first keep my operation, which is times by 3. And I'm going to split my 8 into 5 and 3. And I know 5 times 3 is 15. 3 times 3 is 9. And all I need to do is add these 2 numbers to find my total, which is 24 almonds. Okay? So that was it for today's lesson. I hope you understand what array is, what number bond is, and how to draw a tape diagram. So please take enough time to review today's lesson. And if you have any questions, please let us know. And I'll see you later.